Okay, so in this video, we're going to be going over how to start a coaching business for dummies, right? So, what is coaching? Coaching, you have an expertise or knowledge or information that you want to sell for someone else and you want to make a profit. This can be anything, whether it is in the business niche. So, this could be something like a biz off, e-commerce, drop shipping, trading, crypto, forex, whatever, Amazon FBA. It can also be in the relationships niche, so dating or people getting over trauma, therapy, that type of thing. Also in the health niche, so let's say you are doing fitness coaching or you are helping people alleviate certain illnesses, maybe even someone who is in the medical field themselves, right, that wants to transition into online. Info can be sold on pretty much any and almost everything. And in this video, it's just going to be a basic overview on if you are someone who is starting info. If you have an audience, how do you go about taking that audience, the people you know, the attention that you have, and turning it into clients? How can you monetize what you know and bring in a profit of it? And how can you make that consistent for yourself? So, with that being said, we're going to dive into the basics. So, in any business, specifically info, you get to you pretty much need three things to have a coaching business. You need oh shoot. You need attention, aka traffic. You also need to get sales and you need a product. Okay, so that's pretty much all it can be broken down to in the simplest term possible. So, attention. How does that come? There are different ways you can get attention, but it can all boil down to pretty much two things. You can either get paid attention, which is running ads, or you can get organic attention. This organic attention is through making content. Those are pretty much the main ways. Benefits of paid attention allows you to get attention consistently, which allows you to bring in reverse engineer a consistent revenue stream into your business. Organic allows you to compound more over time, but organic takes time to build up, basically, whether you are posting on Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. Principles are all pretty much the same. And whichever one you choose, obviously the best is a combination of both. Now, once you have your attention, right, you are getting views onto yourself, you're getting people interested in you. What is next? The next thing that you need is you need to be able to generate sales. And how do we generate sales? We need a funnel. Okay, so when we say funnel, how does that work? A funnel pretty much guides people. Why do we do this? Why? It's because people are coming from a state of not knowing who you are or what you do at all, not even knowing that they have a problem. And we need to bring them from that state all the way down into the state where they know you, trust you, and like you, and want to buy your product. So all these different stages of the funnel, we need to guide them through that all the way to the point where they pay for you. So top of the funnel, this is what we call top of the funnel. And there's different types of nurturing assets, right? Nurturing content that we use for each stage of the funnel. So there's top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel. I'm just gonna put B, that should be BOF. But yeah, basically top of the funnel content is gonna be looking like your viral content. And then middle of the funnel content is going to be looking like you sharing more about your stories. It's going to be sharing more about giving them more of an insight into what it is that you solve, allowing them to learn more about your problems. So I would call it a deep dive, right? And then bottom of the funnel allows someone to, is basically the point where they know everything and they need to make a buying decision. What is the type of content that allows someone to make a buying decision? That is going to be things like your video sales letter. That is basically your here I am, here's who I am, and here's what I do. Here's what you'll get in this program or coaching program should you buy it. So that could be something like your VSL. What's another type of bottom of the funnel content that really helps people? That's also case studies and also testimonials, testimonial videos. So case studies and testimonial videos show proof of your product working, and they allow for people to see, hey, this person's been able to get results, right? These are the type of results they've gotten, which then allows them to see that they can get those similar type of results, right? And there's obviously a whole structure. Each of these, attention, sales, and product, each of these can basically be taught all in their own on a whole different whiteboard. But basically, this is for dummies. So that's the basics of sales, right? And then there is product. So now when we go into product, what does the product look like? Okay, product is basically just what's your type of fulfillment. Yes, you are selling coaching. Yes, you are selling info, but how are you going to be selling that info? How deeply involved are you on this? How leveraged is it? And what is the best way for you to get results for your clients? So here are different types of products that people like to do. Okay, some people like to do courses. Some people like to do communities. Some people like to do there's courses, there's communities they could do, and then could also do anything low ticket. So this could be like ebooks, guides. You could also sell a low ticket. Ebook is basically a low ticket course, a guide as well. You could sell that low ticket, and they could also do a low ticket community subscription based. So put subscription, and then people also could sell something like then there's also the option of going high ticket, right? And high ticket, that could be anything like a one-on-one mentorship, group coaching mentorship. That could be a mastermind event, in-person event or community, right? And then let me put in-person here because that's also a category on its own, right? And then let's see other types of ways to sell info. That can also be I would also say mid-ticket. So basically low ticket is anything under, I'd say under $100 is considered low ticket. Mid-ticket is anything above, I'd say $150 is probably mid-ticket. So like a $500, $800. High ticket is anything above, let's say 1.5 or 2K, right? Which of these is best? Each of them has their pros and cons. For example, anytime you're doing anything that is low ticket, you're going to need a lot of volume. So low ticket is going to be, and it's very hard to, and if you're doing a subscription, for example, you need to find a way to keep people onto the subscription to make sure they don't churn. Whereas if you're doing something mid-ticket, you get the best of both worlds. Whereas if you're doing something high ticket, you get a lot of money up front. But you need to also find a way to retain people because you do get a lot of maybe if you do high ticket you get money up front, but then after a while you realize that you need a way to maximize customer LTV. So what is the best out of all these products you can do? The best is not going to be just one of them. The best ultimately is going to be a combination that allows you to maximize the return that each client comes through. You need to basically build an ecosystem where each time someone buys from you, they're also able to buy again. You give them as many times to be able to buy from you, to be able to learn from you, so that way you increase their customer lifetime value, therefore increasing your own revenue. And basically, this is the dummy version of how to come in and build your own coaching business from scratch. Obviously, every single thing I've gone through can basically have its own video, hour-long video in its own, every single aspect that I've gone through of each of these three different portions. But yeah, these are the basics. And if you want to basically have this done for you, right? Have me come into your coaching business, your audience, look at your IG, your TikTok, your YouTube, and basically create an offer for you to be able to use and sell your coaching product, then check the description and you can book a call. I'll also put my IG in there. You can also send me a message on IG. Yep, that's everything.